My opinion, I prefer the float. Why? Because if you float you can come out with more than 1-to-1. If you go in the basket you got no choice, the dollar 1-to-1. Do you see the $3 plus currencies in any basket? No. That's what you need to go. Wealth/redemption folks did not work over the weekend. They were hoping to get called in, but remember, they were told to expect to work the next few weekends for a while. Trump has declared a mandate to Iraq: stop using my dollar. The only way you can use my dollar is to buy medical stuff, medicine, equipment. If you want to travel abroad you can get some of my dollar or GOI in your functions as a government. That's it. Nowhere else can you use the American dollar in your country. Citizens can't touch it. Businesses can't touch it. Iraqi stock exchange can't touch it. Nobody is to touch the dollar. The Vietnam dong's low value is not necessarily a disadvantage for Vietnam, it has been a key factor in its economic strategy. While significant appreciation of the dong is unlikely in the short term, Vietnam's growing economy and strategic role in global trade suggests that its currency could slowly gain value over time. However, for now, the government seems to prioritize economic stability and export competitiveness over increasing the dong's value. Coordination framework: no enmity with Trump and America, but we are friends. Quote, the coordination framework, which brings together the Shiite political forces forming the government of Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, confirmed on Monday that it is not afraid of the new U.S. President, Donald Trump. The framework's representative, Ali Nima, told Shafak news agency, the framework has no fears of Trump, and promoting fears about imposing any sanctions on Iraq is unrealistic and far from reality. Baghdad and Washington have good relations. We are seeking and working to strengthen this relationship during the next phase. Trump's new team also includes the most ardent opponents of the Iranian axis, and is deeply resentful of the previous administration of Joe Biden and the administration of Barack Obama, considering that these two administrations handed Iraq over to Iran, after the withdrawal and after a series of negotiations. I think things are moving along nicely. Rumors over the weekend, with a couple of my biggest bond contacts, are saying they now expect theirs somewhere around February 10th. Some of these bigger ones could be post-RV though. There are different pots of money paying different things. There are also rumors it could happen tonight. Remember, they cloud things, so we do not know the timing. We know they are moving at a much quicker pace, and I was told the US is pressuring Iraq to complete it. This is a first. America really needs this. Financially we are in a heck of a mess. We know the economic reforms are underway and we all know there's certain things still missing. I think Iraq has that push button. I think that's about where we are, because you haven't seen that 12(2)(c) amendment yet. There's a reason for that, because they can't, because they're going to have to expose that at or around the same time Iraq does what he needs to do. The good part is it looks like it's coming to the forefront. Al-Sudani calls on American companies to participate in the development renaissance in Iraq. Quote, implementation of 18 agreements and MOUs signed during Al-Sudani's list to the US in 2024. Iraqi delegation met with US official under Trump back in 2020, and they also met mid last year in 2024. They're telling you right here they have 18 agreements and MOUs signed and in place ready to implement. That's why they will be meeting just a little later this year, March to April, to discuss the implementation of these items, not to draft them. These meetings don't have anything to do with the rate changing or us waiting for it in March to April. This is buckling down, getting to business after the rate has already changed. Television news reporting there is a liquidity issue, that more than 70% of Iraqi citizens are still hoarding their 30 notes and many are not bringing them to the bank. Question: Governor of the Central Bank of Iraq meets an official delegation from the United States. Quote, during the meeting, They discussed banking and economic relations between the two countries and the upcoming visit of the Central Bank of Iraq delegation to Washington and their meeting with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and American companies next April. Question: are we waiting until mid-February now? Marks: I don't think so. I believe we may be done by that time. The new lower notes EMO will only work with a new exchange rate and not the 1,310. The dinars are the highest form of intel and highest form of security that there is on this planet Earth right now. Lower notes, is the most highly guarded object and secret at this moment. The CBI and Sudani cannot afford one small slip-up, one tiny little leak, even the color. You don't want any information to be leaded out, even the shape of the new lower notes. All this must be kept tightly under wraps until the new exchange rate is finally released. The leader of the United Anbar Alliance, Ahmed El-Dari, confirmed today, Monday, that the Kurdistan regional government has not handed over the oil revenues and border crossings to the central government for more than 20 years, despite its commitment to paying the salaries of the region's employees. In a statement to Al-Maluma agency, Al-Dari said, the Kurdistan regional government, for more than 20 years, has not handed over the oil revenues and border crossings to the central government, and has illegally hidden the statements of the financial amounts that the regional government received, and their fate is unknown to this hour, despite the formation of joint committees to uncover those involved in stealing huge sums of money, no less than the theft of the century. He added, the central government rewards the Kurdistan government by sending 320 billion dinars as salaries for its employees, while the regional government refuses to hand over the huge sums of money it owes to the central government and steals them in broad daylight in front of the integrity committees and oversight bodies that stood idly by in the face of the financial and administrative corruption in the mechanism of managing the state's revenues by the regional government, and spending them independently of the central government. Al-Dari concluded by saying, the money stolen from oil revenues and border crossings is estimated at 4 trillion dinars annually, and the central government has not received any financial amounts from the value of this money for more than 20 years. Member of the Parliamentary Finance Committee, Mustafa Al-Karawi, confirmed today, Monday, that there are revenues worth 4 trillion dinars from the region that are not officially proven and require urgent government auditing. Al-Karawi said in a statement to Al-Maluma agency, the non-oil revenues in the region, estimated at 4 trillion dinars, it is not officially confirmed by the federal government, he said, noting that there are official correspondence from OPEC confirming oil smuggling operations from the region amounting to approximately 286,000 barrels per day. He explained that these operations directly affect revenues, as the region's continued violations have reduced the amount of oil exported from OPEC to 200,000 barrels per day, which has caused a decline in oil revenues and a